Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkelzunky and welcome back to the Rebuild the One Bill series. This is part 7, so we're making some good progress on, getting towards that 1 bill total bank value. And also, at the end of this episode, I'm going to reach, I would probably consider a pretty landmark bank value amount, so that's going to be exciting when we eventually get there. But first of all, I went and did some Ceradomin. Because of a Reaper assignment, I've been getting a lot of Ceradomin Reapers lately, which is really nice because it's one of the two God Wars dungeon pets along with Krill / Zami that I do not yet have. So all the Reaper assignments at Ceradomin are very welcome. Usually I'll just stay for a whole instance. Haven't been getting a lot of drops lately, a few Ceradomin swords, but that's about it. And going back to Nex, we got the first drop on the ground to me. And this one wasn't a trio, and it was Pernix boots, which are a decent value. It's nowhere near the value that the top and legs currently have of Nex, because to my understanding, if you get good perks on Nex armor, it's the best armor in the game. Better than tier 90 power armor, just because the perks make up for the slightly lower defense and slightly lower damage boost. I also finally got a Glacior's task, and Glaciors are probably my favorite Slayer task of all time, just because I've killed so many Glaciors and made so many Armadillo battle staffs over the years. It's nice to finally get back there. So we have our first 11 shards towards which I think is going to be like Armadillo battle staff number 20 or 21 at this point, and those are a nice 12 mils. So I did put those on prefer. So after a few tasks, that's going to be a decent amount of profit. You'll also see a ton of elite clues. Now, one thing I've been doing a lot of lately is just kind of chilling out and doing some elf thieving at Prifdinus, and then doing all the hard and elite clues that I've been getting. And, it hasn't paid out with anything so far. But one thing that's nice is all these, Armadillo and Guthix and Zamorak items, rune items anyway, they're not worth very much, but it does make for a pretty cool clue tab. And I think it would be awesome to have, a full set of each type of god armor one day, just in a clue tab. Of course, it's not really worth much. I think the Ceradomin is worth, 500k to 1 mil a piece. But the other armor sets aren't worth anything, but they do look pretty cool. Some more elite clues here. I did finish off my first Triskelion key since coming back, so that was really nice. I also did a task at hard mode Bandos, which was really fun. It takes forever to kill him, especially because I was using a chaotic staff, so the accuracy was lacking a little bit at the hard mode Bandos, hard mode Gridor. But that was really fun doing that, and the drops aren't that bad. So here, I finally got a lucky Edimmu task. I had been waiting so long for an Edimmu task to pay off. And first of all, we got an elite clue. The other beam that was in my chat bar was actually a weapon seed, and then we got the blood necklace. So it had been a few tasks since my last blood necklace, so I was really hoping for one. This was a small Edimmu task, I think only 175 creatures, so a fairly short one. And then not only that blood necklace shard, but a few kills later we got another blood necklace shard. So these are worth about 6.5 mil each, so made around 15 million total just from this one Edimmu task. Now obviously that's really lucky, you can't expect that from every single Edimmu task. However, I mean, they have been bank, for me lately, just because all those weapon seeds, you usually get like 2 a task, and that's 2 mil, and all the rune items, it really adds up very, very fast. Here's the loot from another Nex trip. I've been doing a ton of Nex trips, and most of which have not paid off with any item drops. However, those Onyx bolts have been really adding up, because every single time you get one, most of these trips are duo, so every single time you get a drop of Onyx bolts, that's like 1.6 mil. And you'll see at the end of the episode, I actually will show me selling off my PVM/Slayer tab for once, and just the amount of money from Onyx bolts is pretty eye-opening. So that was the price check. So even without any drops, a nice 10 mil made. I think that was from one instance, possibly 2 instances. I'm not completely sure, but I also finally got some friends together and did some Verago. It is very hard to get a Verago team. The main reason for that being is just the wand is so cheap now that Verago isn't really the best money anymore. So it is kind of hard to convince people to actually be willing to go and kill this boss. Because you can just, why kill Verago and put all the effort of trying to get a team together when you just can go kill a Raxor and make like twice as much per hour. If you're focusing on money, it seems kind of silly to kill this boss anyway, but I wanted to do it just for fun. I do enjoy Verago quite a bit. So we did a few kills here. and a nice 4 kills. I don't think anyone was on Reaper task, but that's just how long we decided to stay. And since I bomb tank, since I don't have tier 90 magic, so I can't really do a DPS role as of yet, so I'm kind of stuck with, you know, doing the bomb tank, debatably leeching a few kills here. But, you know, I got some drops on the ground to me, which it wasn't so bad, and it was like a 1.5 mil split from all the energy as well, so made a couple mil there and a few Verago kills, not bad. And I'm going to try to eventually get one of those seismic drops, either a wand or the singularity is worth quite a bit at the moment as well. So since the next few clips here are just the ends of some Reaper tasks and some pretty crappy clue scroll rewards, it's probably worth mentioning that the goal near the end of this episode was to get enough money to buy a Noxious Scythe. Now the Noxious Scythe at the moment is over 190 mil, which is a lot of money. So in order to get it, I was debating maybe we should sell that main hand Ascension bow. Now this would kind of suck because it would mean Nex duos would be much harder, and I'm a huge fan of duo Nex. I've been doing that a lot lately in order to make some money. That's like where the majority of the money in my PVM tab has come from, to be honest. But at the same time, it's going to speed up Invention training so much. I really want to get 99 Invention to unlock that max skilled boss portal again. That's going to be super handy for PVMing. And just to get the max cape back, it's a nice thing to have. It's not really necessary. You can be just fine in this game without one, but I would like to get it back as soon as possible. So I eventually did decide, well, it's probably worth giving up Duo Nex for a little while anyway until I can buy that bow back to buy the Noxious Scythe. So that means 60 mil needed to be made because I was about 60 mil short, and this drop helped out a lot. This was a Duo Pernix body. It was an 11.5 mil split. It sold a little bit above GE price for around 23. So getting that in a 2-man was really nice. It broke a long dry streak. I had gone like 6 or 7 instances without a Nex item drop at this point, so getting that was nice. Also killing some Durzag. I figured, you know, getting 2 Durzag kills out of the way, it'll take, you know, it took about 30 minutes, to be honest. Getting everyone together took quite a while, but eventually we got 2 Durzag kills in a very short amount of time. It's about 1.5 to 2 mil per kill roughly every single time you kill him, and that's a really good way to make some very quick money. And unfortunately you can only do it once every few days. If you want to do 2 Durzag kills in a row, you have to wait like 4 days in order for both of them to be ready. But that's a decent amount of money. I'll try to continue doing that as much as possible. Here's another double clue. This is of course just the result of more Elf City pickpocketing, getting a hard and elite, and then going and doing them both. This was probably my worst reward double clue wise by far. That was barely over 200k from both of them combined. Man, it's awful. But one day a Barrow's die or a Shadow die will be obtained, and then I'll have the last laugh. And as long as you don't get super dry on a die, it is worth doing these clues in the long run. Like money per hour wise, you have to go super long term because of how rare the good drops are, but it is worth doing them if you're okay with 5 mil an hour, I believe it is roughly, for doing those elite clues, just because there's 4 potential dies you can get, and also you can get the Druidic Third Age, which is actually more common than a Third Age die. I was a bit surprised to learn that. So I'm finally showing me selling a drop tab here, and I do have to apologize. In the past, I haven't really shown myself selling the drops. I'm not sure why I decided to cut that out, but I figured it might be a good thing to like put in at the end of the episode whatever monetary goal we're going for. If I make a purchase, I'm going to try to show myself selling the drops. And anyway, this just adds a little bit more legitimacy, because I know in the past, like, I've shown the drops that I'm getting on the ground for bosses, but a lot of times my cash stack will just jump from like 10 mil to 50 mil, and it's like, how did that happen? Because a lot of times I'll do Slayer tasks, you know, just good money tasks like Rune Dragons, for example, where I might make 5 mil, but I'm not showing any of that. So this will just, you know, show you guys exactly what I'm doing to make money. Now, most of the money here is coming from the Nex drops. All of my Onyx bolts sold for 18 million GP for the entire stack of them combined, which was just amazing. I know the coal that I got from Nex sold for like 5 mil. Some of the other drops were worth quite a bit as well. So I just made a ton of money from the Nex drops. And then I actually did unaugment my Dragors, and I repaired the Ascension bow. I never augmented that because I was never planning on keeping it long term. One of these days we'll get a Nox bow, and then I won't have to worry about Ascensions ever again. But sold all of those, and that got us over 200 mil. So if you're wondering what my bank value is, that's about what it is. Maybe 10 mil more of stuff all together in the bank, but most of my armor is untradeable, and really the only tab I have in my bank, I sold my drops tab, so the only tab that's like worth anything is in my supplies tab, where I have like prayer potions and Ceridome and brews and yak pouches and stuff like that. That's worth a small amount of money, but basically the bank value is just a little bit over 200 mil total. So that's roughly what my progress is about. We can say getting pretty close to 25% of the way to the 1 bill total bank, because I'm not quite at a 250 mil total bank value, but getting fairly close. I might be underestimating how much money is throughout the rest of the bank, but this is why I bought the Noxious Scythe. Invention is still good. A lot of people stopped doing this after the cannon was nerfed to no longer give weapon XP. It's still very good weapon XP, around 50k per hour. And I might not even been doing it right. I didn't look up a guide or anything. I just went and cannoned Arrows, and I got 50k weapon XP on my Noxious Scythe in 1 hour, which is pretty decent. And this is a loot. Now that's not all profit. It's very expensive killing Arrows. If you're augmenting and disassembling tier 70 gear, you pretty much break even. If not, if you're just siphoning, you make like 1.5 mil an hour. So it's not very good money, even though it looks like that's a pretty healthy amount of drops. But that's, what I'm planning on doing with my Noxious Scythe. I probably won't do a whole lot of Arrows. I'll probably, me, I have a very short attention span when it comes to killing things. I just can't camp anything. I just get bored so fast. So probably what I'll do is like God Wars Dungeon, Slayer, and then on occasion do some Arrows as well. And I'll try to get 99 Invention out of the way. I'm level 80 at the moment, so getting, somewhat close. I think level 84 is halfway, so we're getting pretty close to the halfway point. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys hopefully in less than a week with the next episode of this series, and I'll try to upload some other videos in between as well. Until then, though, have a good one. Farewell.